to a Kill is a 1985 James Bond film. It's directed by John Glenn, once again. Now, this is the last James Bond film to star Roger Moore as Agent 007. And for some people, they're ecstatic. They were happy. They were like, finally, we can move on, because they hated Roger Moore as James Bond. I have said numerous times that I didn't mind Roger Moore as James Bond. However, I understand why people don't like him. I mean, I think it's more to do with the movies, the Bond movies that he were in. They were just more lighthearted, a little bit more goofy. And you could tell that even though Roger Moore is older, he's not trying to give up this role. He probably would have kept doing it for years and years until they would have like shoved him, forced him out of this series. And do you blame him, really? He's playing James Bond, a guy who gets to do all of this cool action stuff, like at the beginning of this movie, where it's yet another action scene of Bond on skis going down a mountain of snow. Like, how many times have we seen Bond do that? It's like the go-to action scene for James Bond. And then right after that, after he kills some bad guys, he gets to go into the submarine with a hot chick. And that's Bond's life. No wonder why Roger Moore just wanted to keep living that. I honestly don't blame the guy. Now, the villain in this movie is Christopher Walken. And could you get a better actor to be a villain in a Bond film? Like, how awesome is this? I was a little worried at first because most of the Bond villains, they have like dubbed their voices. I don't know if it's because of an accent thing or it's because they wanted the villain to sound a certain way. But no, they use Walken's voice. But even his plan, what he wanted to do, he wanted to destroy Silicon Valley with an earthquake because he wanted to gain monopoly in the marketplace. I mean, could you dream up a more evil plan for a businessman than that? But not only that, he has this sort of bodyguard, sort of girlfriend, played by Grace Jones, and this lady scares me. She does. She's big. I mean, like, she's not, like, muscle, but she's just, like, she's big, you know? And the way that they have her in this movie, where she picks guys up over her head, or this one scene where she tosses a car off of a ledge by herself, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't want to piss this woman off. But James Bond, Roger Moore, doesn't care. He ends up sleeping with her in this movie. It's like, wow, you'll just sleep with anyone as long as they're a female. Which, I guess you can't really blame him there. Speaking of Bond girls, though, Tanya Roberts plays Stacy, and I'm going to say that maybe not the most memorable Bond girl, but she was decent. She had some scenes of being a little bit annoying, like whenever she was in trouble, she would scream out James Bond's name, and it's like, okay, the damsel in distress. But then she had a couple other moments where she at least did something. She didn't just sit back and act dumb and captured. No, she went after the bad guys a couple of times, even if she got beat up for it. So I'll give her credit for that. There are some silly moments, but moments I didn't really mind. Like when Bond's doing a car chase and his car gets crashed so bad that he's only driving the front half of the car. And he's literally driving it on the street, just half of a car. It's one of those, it's so silly, but it's funny, and it made me laugh. And there was so many moments where, this is why Christopher Walken also was a good villain, because he constantly put Bond in a situation where you're like, wow, there's no way Roger Moore's going to get out of this. I mean, it's not like you're thinking he's going to die, but you're like, how the hell is he going to get out of being trapped in a car underwater with them standing there to make sure that he drowns? And then later on, where he locks him and Stacy into an elevator, and he sets basically the whole floor on fire. Again, it's moments like that that are just like, wow, Bond has to be a badass to survive this. So, A View to a Kill, I'm not going to say it's the greatest James Bond film, but it's definitely a lot better than Octopussy. If this was Roger Moore's last Bond film, I wouldn't mind having this at the end of his resume. So guys, let me know in the comments below, what did you think of A View to a Kill? Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Later!